and here we are. G'day, Shino. How are you? Welcome back.
I'm very, very well, mate. How are you going?
I'm fantastic. Yes, I had a great day, and yes, looking forward to talking to our guests tonight and having a show. And welcome to everyone. And before we start, usually we've tried to have a bit of interaction on the Facebook page. This will be a pre-recorded episode, as will be advertised. So the interaction mid-show won't be so bad, but I think probably what we'll do, Shino, is as we sit online and as it goes out for the first time at the least, we'll sit on and respond to any comments and whatnot during.
Absolutely. So obviously this will be, as we know, released on the Tuesday evening. We could have a bit of a watch party, perhaps.
We could have a bit of a watch party.
We could sit down with some beer nuts and a beer and actually enjoy the show ourselves.
We can watch the show, have a beer, ask questions that won't get answered until at the very least the next week. And
we can ask ourselves questions.
We can ask ourselves questions, which of course will be very, very exciting. So that's how that'll go. We will we'll see how that works out. But if we mention something tonight that suddenly changes tomorrow, that's where it will be slightly out of date. But given that we don't talk about anything really factual, I think it will be just fine. So, welcome, mate. Tell us first up, what are you drinking?
Mate, I've got another offering from Seasonal. A little biased, I suppose. Like you, I love supporting my local little establishment.
Yes.
Until I run them dry. But this is a NEPA. I know you had a NEPA yourself on episode 5.
Love a NEPA.
So I've actually followed in your steps with a NEPA here. This is a nice little 6.9% offering. And one thing I did notice straight away is sort of it's cloudy, fruity. It almost looks like a fruit punch.
Oh yeah, yeah. They are a really fruity, citrusy beer. So
I'm actually really enjoying it.
Mm-hmm.
I really, really enjoying it. Mm.
Yeah, no, love a NEPA, and I really enjoyed that one last night. So I'm actually drinking an XPA tonight, an extra pale ale, I guess. It's called The Salesman,
right,
by a crew called Co-Conspirators Brewing Company in Victoria. Again, I've gone out of state, a little less local lately.
Yeah. You've crossed regions. You've smuggled that one in across the border.
Yeah, well, clearly imported before the bans, etc. But just chosen, I think, what a ripper looking can. And that is one of my favourite bits about craft beer is how good the cans look.
Yeah. I'm a sucker for a clever can.
Yeah, no, I am too. I really like the ones with great designs and great pictures. The Boston ones I always think are great. Yeah, no, they're and there's some brilliant looking craft beer cans out there. So
I think we need to remind everyone here, Bish, about the Battle of the Beers.
Yes.
Because obviously this is our second episode running Battle of the Beers. So we will be offering up a rating towards the end of the show on the beer that we consume during the show and post it on our Facebook page as well. So keep a lookout for that.
Absolutely. And if you decide to rate your own beers, you're having a beer,
that would be helpful.
Or you've got a particular favourite you'd like to give us a bit of a rating on, put it on the page, and we'll again we might
bit of a community service, really.
Yeah, exactly right. If you've had something you particularly like, we'd like to hear about it too. And particularly I can't wait to get over to the brewery near Shino's there. Obviously, when things are a little bit more open and whatnot. So, and that's from seeing Shino taste the beers. So that's what we're about. So we'll be giving that a rating out of 5. But first of all, cheers there, Shino.
Cheers to you, mate.
Cheers. It is cloudy, geez.
One of my favourite times of the week.
Absolutely. And so we're about to bring Brian in. So let's admit joining. Here he is. Here he comes. And there he is. Hey, Brian. He's connecting to audio. That's what we like to see. And we can't hear you yet, Brian. Can you hear us? Not if you can hear us. There's a thing on your screen. I love the faces we all make while we're connecting on. There he is.
We've got voice.
We have. So
how you go, Brian? Can I just say, mate, we might have to change the name of this episode to Bish and the Beards.
The beard. Yes, I'm the only one without one. I've got what you may not know is I haven't shaved for 14 days. I just cannot grow a beard to save myself. But whereas you blokes seem to have fine beards going on. So
it could be Bish and the Baldies.
Well, I've got to say I'm due to get the clippers out. My barber closed down the first chance he got. I think he was looking for a bit of a chop out. So as soon as they made the hint about the rules, he just said, I'm staying home. So
a bit like Maya did.
Yes. Just no. Shut up. Oh, look. Brian's even got professional lighting of sorts.
Brian's got special effects.
Special effects. I was working on them. Don't worry about that. Now, Brian, tell us, mate, what are you drinking?
Yeah, it's a bit of an interesting one. This has been sitting in the back of my fridge for about 2 years.
Ooh.
I've been afraid to try it.
Historic.
I'm not sure how I got it, whether someone gave it to me or whether I bought it. It's been there that long. It's from Evil Twin Brewing in the US.
Yeah. Ooh,
it's a barley wine ale.
Wow.
Yeah, 10.3%. Apparently it's quite.
I love how Brian prefaced that, giving us a bit of a history around how long it's been in the fridge. So essentially, with that 10.3% alcohol volume, that knocks him on his bum tonight, he's got a bit of an out. He can say, "Oh, it was off."
Yeah, it was
off.
Yeah, no, it was exactly right. What I'm impressed with is Shino's gone local, as in just down the street.
Seasonal again.
I've gone to Victoria for my beer, but you've gone American, Brian. So you've
trumped us all, Brian.
Topped us all, mate. So we'll be expecting a star rating on that. But
if my eyes start going around like pinwheels, you know what the reason is.
Yeah, if you
I'm going to try.
Go a little sideways. Yeah, how is it?
Yeah, really strong.
No. I can imagine. So, well, okay. Well, let's get the questions in before the.
Are you going to be able to see the show through, Brian?
I'm not sure.
I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
We might have to get a stand-in.
We might. Currently texting backup guests. So. Let's get some questions in. Shino, do you want to open up with the first question?
I do. Look, Brian, first one is, what gets your goat, Brian?
What gets my goat? You'd probably be best asking my wife what doesn't get my goat.
Ooh.
Because I am not a tolerant person. So I don't tolerate fools. And I probably could do with showing a little bit more patience than I do. I don't know. Where should I start? Do you want a main thing, or do you want a couple of things, or?
Well, give us
the thing that got your goat today. Even I don't.
Leading with your main one.
Yeah.
Main one.
Give us your right hook, Brian.
People cutting into my safety zone on the freeway when I'm driving. I leave a gap between the cars in front of me, so I've got time to stop if I have to. And people seem to take it as an invitation to move in and make me basically put my foot on the brake and, possibly cause an accident. It drives me up the wall. And I fight that freeway every bloody day to Willetton and back again, and it gets my goat.
I'm hearing you, Brian. You're creating a bit of social distancing on the freeway, and people aren't respecting it.
That always trying to get into the fastest lane is actually what slows traffic down too, I think. If you just got in your lane and, you know,
They-
start going over when you need to be. But yeah,
Yep. That's what I do. I get in the right lane and I sit there and I just stay at the limit, and you know, I don't dodge and weave. I just stay in that lane if I can.
So what happens then, Brian? Do you just ache a lot? Do you know, are you a hand waver, a head shaker? You flip them the bird?
I'm a head shaker. And I'll generally swear at them. You know, you effing idiot. You know.
Yeah, thoroughly deserved.
Yeah, well, isn't it? Particularly now, how do you go with people riding gophers in the shop? Do you, if they cut in, do you get a bit annoyed with that? That's one we've had recently. We tried off.
Yeah. There is actually a fellow around here when I'm doing my runs early in the morning. He rides down Alexander Drive in his gopher and sits right in the middle of the footpath.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
No way you can. He will not move left or right, so you've got to move onto the curb or onto the road, onto the grass. So yeah, that's a little bit of a worry. But yeah, he's quite a bit of a regular around here. It's one of those gophers that looks like little cars. It looks like a little car.
It's got the hoods. Yeah. Jeez, mate, some of them are elaborate.
Huh?
Some of them are pretty elaborate.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah. But the shops, no, I just try and take deep breaths. Gretchen always says to me, deep breaths. We're not going to be here long.
Speaking about guys on gophers, I don't know if you've driven up around the Bassendean area. There's a couple of elderly twins in their 80s, a couple of fellows who both ride gophers, and they ride side by side on the footpath.
Oh, wild hogs. Wild hogs.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
I've not seen that.
Amazing.
So, Shino, is anything getting your goat at the moment?
Oh, look, no, probably. I like that one from Brian. What gets my goat? It's quite a simple one, really, but it's just people being late. You know, I hate people being late
tonight.
Yeah. Well, that's probably why I voted you for Wanker of the Week.
Right.
but that'll come up a bit later. But no, really, when people are doing it regularly, but really, I think a lot of the times people do it in a spiteful manner. It's almost intentional. That's what I'm talking about, when they're late to meetings or late to events, when it means something to you and to others, but it's almost a form of arrogance. I hate
a sense of entitlement.
I think so.
What I want.
Yeah. That gets my goat.
A little bit of a flex, I think. Yes.
I think so. I think it's a power thing. People like people waiting for them.
Yes.
See, I get it. I'm early to everything, so
I'm the same, Brian.
Yeah.
In fact, I've been sitting here for the last 3 hours waiting for Bish to send me the invite.
I'm the opposite. I'm what's known as a chronoptimist. Which I'll assume that the 3 hours of things that I need to do can be done in half an hour, including driving what I need to do. So I'm terrible. I am one of those late people, and I can tell you, I don't think it's arrogance.
No, in your case, it's definitely not.
It's organisation. So that.
But in your case, Bish, it's rather charming, I must say.
Oh, really? Well, I'd like to give people the hope that I might not turn up at all. They go, oh, yeah, how good would that be? Oh, look, he's not coming. Great. And then,
you do it for the reception, so everybody, when you turn up, goes, he's here.
Yeah, yes. But I'm a bit the opposite, though. Like, lately I've taken to, I don't like sticking around at some things, but it's hard for me to leave quietly. I'll just say goodbye to Shino. I'll stay for another one, Clint. It's only late. What are you going? Clint's going, and then some bastard who you didn't get to speak to, but I haven't got to speak to you yet. And right, next minute, it's half an hour or an hour later or longer, and you're getting another message. You should be home by now. Right, so I think I'm trying to develop the art of just the old spirit away, the phantom type thing.
No, that's one of my favourites.
Yes,
you just sort of slip into the darkness. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I think
I'll generally look like I'm heading off to the toilet, and then I'll.
yes, there's
Take
a
it
there's
easy,
a lot to
never
be
to be
said for it.
seen
In
again.
fact, I'm kind of hoping that soon there'll be an app where you can, like, you know, perhaps message all the people around you 15 minutes after you've gone. It was great to see you all tonight. I'll see you next time. Had a great time without actually having to do the job. So there's a $1 million idea for anyone watching who knows how to do that. But I tell you what's getting on my goat, right? I go down to the cafe locally every day for a cup of coffee. But yeah, near enough to every day, right? And under the guise of supporting local business, but it's just so I don't have to make it. Right. Oh, geez, that's not getting any better there, Brian.
No.
Now, our local Cafe Laker, I'll give them a plug. They're wonderful. They've done excellent things with trying to do the whole social distancing thing with the C-bomb. They've turned around and, you know, marked out little tape on the floor so you can queue properly. They've opened their windows and they've put a box. There's a bench bolted to their wall that you used to be able to sit on and have a coffee and whatnot. But they've put a box there so that the staff member can bring it out and go, hey, Clinton, coffee's here. Leave your coffee, grab your coffee, go, right? All perfect. What gets my goat is that inevitably, every day, some muppet will sit down right next to the box. And I'm like, it's there so we don't have to get too close to each other, and you've decided to sit near the box.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And you know, the thing is, because I'm not in my car, it's a little bit hard to go, oh, you fucking idiot. Right? You know, like,
yeah,
I'd get a reputation if I swore at people every day at the coffee shop.
You know what, mate? I think I've got a solution that you might want to run past the cafe owners. You know, on the top of the lamppost where they have those little spikes sitting up, so the birds don't come in on them. You know what I'm talking about?
You're an ideas man, Shino.
Yeah.
Hey?
You're an ideas man.
Yes, absolutely. I reckon you run that past them. I think it's worth something to consider.
Oh, I tell you, it's really, really annoying me. But, you know, that's how it is. So I'm going to ask the next question. This is always a favourite of mine, Brian.
Yes, mate.
What's your favourite conspiracy theory?
Yeah, there's a lot.
Oh, there is plenty.
Yeah. I do like chemtrails. They're great.
Oh, yeah. You know, nobody has mentioned that yet.
I do like the chemtrails. You know, the assertion that the contrails you see, the water vapour off the wings of high-flying aircraft, is actually dispersing some sort of mind-controlling drug or a virus or whatever by the ruling elite, so they can control our thoughts or infect us or whatever. So that's a bit of a classic.
I love that one, and I it hasn't come up yet. So
no,
that's the first person to bring it onto the show. So well done.
That's a good one.
No worries. I'll give you another one.
Yeah.
And it's an old one and it's been disproven. But the Paul McCartney is dead.
I like that one.
Theory.
Yeah.
How he died in a car crash in 1966 and was replaced by a lookalike called William Shears Campbell, I think it was, and that they left all these clues in their music and in their album covers. And so I thought that was a bit of a classic. I really like that one.
I heard somebody mention there is a very, very long YouTube video about that whole thing you can watch if you've got.
Oh, really?
Actually, yeah, we'll have to check that out.
Yes. No. So
actually, we'll look for that, and maybe we can provide the link. We'll pop the link on the page.
Do we want to waste people's time? Is
well, we tend to do that every Tuesday.
Now, I have got a photo that I was technically going to attempt to share on the show, but it does relate a little bit to my Wanker of the Week nomination. Yep. But I will.
But it's a conspiracy theory.
Well, look, it is the mother of all conspiracy theories in terms of this photo, I'll bring it up on my phone here, mate. It's where are we? Photos. Literally, you cannot see that. This is the worst piece of thing ever. But I will share it on the page when we go to thing. But this person has literally gone and listed every conspiracy theory on a A3 sheet of paper or whatever, and gone, yeah, here is it all, including ritual child sacrifice, which I wasn't even aware existed. What's some of the others? Obviously the usual. Operation Paperclip, never heard of that. The Illuminati, we've all heard of that. False flag. Quanon, not heard of that. Sorry. Plandemic, have you heard of Plandemic?
Yeah, Plandemic, yeah, good old
yeah.
good old Judy Mikovits.
Yeah, Clinton's emails. So that's 5G is dangerous. Psyops, vaccine damage. Mockingbird Media. That's a new one on me. Lucifer Telescope. No. Geoengineering, which I think comes in under the old chemtrails a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
Adrenochrome.
Sounds like there's some fairly obscure ones in there.
Oh, but they've got the lot. They've got the lot. Fiona Barnett, spirit cooking. Yeah. I don't know. So anyway, that I've probably gone early because I just wanted to mention that because that's just got because that could well be my Wanker of the Week nomination as well. I don't want to give anything away. But go on, Shane.
I was going to say, have you done yours?
Yes, mate. Yeah.
You got another one?
Conspiracy theory. What, for Wanker of the Week?
No, for conspiracy theory.
Oh, no, I just thought I'd throw that one in. But I love them all. So if you've got one, tell me.
Well, I do have one.
Go on.
Actually, I stumbled across this recently. I don't know if you've heard of this one. I hadn't heard of it. But that dinosaurs helped build the pyramids.
Oh, no!
Yeah. Now, this theory was actually concocted by the director of the Accelerated Christian Academy.
Of course.
Which is just, I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous. I mean, for one, we've all seen the size of dinosaurs' arms. Can you imagine a dinosaur trying to block up on the top of a pyramid? It's simply not going to happen. But that just made me laugh. But there's a fair bit of literature around that. Yeah.
I think you're perhaps watching too much of the Flintstones.
Well, perhaps.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's an absolute new one. That's where I'm always really pleased when you get a new one, because it's like, you've heard all the classics and all the run of the mill ones, to be fair, the big league major ones. But then you get one like that and you go, oh, that's a new one. So I like that. Geez, that's dinosaurs help build the pyramids.
What about Butthole Sunny?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be good for your health.
I'm going to call someone up here. They mentioned this to me. My doctor said to me, you don't have enough, what is it, vitamin D you get from the sun?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, take it in through your perineum.
Yes, so I didn't have enough vitamin, and this person, Brian, who is a work colleague of mine, Cheryl Kopek, says to me, my chiropractor told me, so here we go, that you're best sunbathing naked, and I'm like, the skin cancer risk for a start. So I dismissed that fairly soon after. It was like my chiropractor told me, but just to be fair, it's like, no. Yeah, no, I've heard of the old, get the sun in through your backside. That's a ripper. All right, let's take it up a notch and see who is going to be this week's contender for the Jones Evans Trophy for Wanker of the Week. So, Brian, do you have a nomination for us?
Look, I could go mainstream and go with Sam Newman.
Oh,
who's
what's that one done now?
He's carrying on about not being able to play golf.
Oh, I did see before. Yes, yeah. Still going.
So
I didn't see it.
He keeps on turning up on social media, complaining about the fact that why because golf's sort of a social distancing or a physical distancing sport. Why can't he go and play golf? And he took to the steps of the Parliament.
I did see that video. Yes.
Yeah, and threatened to wait there until someone came out, and he was going to putt around with his golf clubs there for a bit, and then he's turned up again a couple of times making comments, and then someone asked him, what are you going to do once golfing comes back? And he went, actually, I can't play, I've hurt my back.
Oh.
Yeah,
God.
so
what a wanker.
The highest order.
Some people need a hug with a chair to the face. Yeah.
That's my mainstream. Shino reckoned he wanted someone a little bit more.
Well, we like to recognise the man in the street, but no, I don't mind that one because I find the thing is, it's Sam's running on a desperate attempt to stay relevant, and he's got a particular market, and sadly, some of these social distancing things are designed to protect people of Sam's age and the people who still think that Sam's funny. So he probably needs to know better than most. Having said, I don't play golf, but I could never understand why you could play golf here but not there, and it did seem a little strange. But rules are rules, so we kind of got to go with them. So have you got somebody?
Oh, look, I do. Well, I'm not necessarily somebody, but I suppose when you're talking about evolution, but evolution itself is, I suppose, a conspiracy theory in itself. But look, I don't know if you saw in the news earlier this month in Indonesia, there was a little monkey on a motorbike who tried to abduct a toddler.
I saw that. Tried dragging him down an alleyway.
Yes, did you see that?
I did.
No. Yeah, but not only did he just wander up and grab this toy, he actually arrived on a motorbike.
Well, he rode the motorbike.
He rode the motorbike. And grabs this little child, hops off, grabs his child, and tries to drag it down the alley. What a little wanker of a primate.
Do you think it was part of a kidnapping ring, or?
Well, possibly. He might have been part of the monkey mafia, Brian. I don't know.
Oh dear.
But I know I'm looking at.
Would the Godfather be an old silverback, do you think?
Quite possibly.
It wasn't a big monkey.
No, but I mean, he's just a street level monkey. He's one of the foot soldiers.
Oh, right, yeah.
But this is where we tie things in intrinsically. This we always talk about is that, was it in fact a monkey? Or perhaps was it a dwarf with a body hair issue?
Well, you've got a point. So, yes. Okay, well, I don't know what more to add to that, to be honest. I've got nothing. No, my wanker of the week is actually, and as I say, I will post the picture, and it does kind of relate to Brian's in a way. So with Sam and his whinging and whining. I believe in Melbourne during this week, there was a little bit of a protest, a little bit like, the American style protest of, let us out and get our hair cut type thing. And, against the social distancing around the C-bomb. And that is where I found the sign with all those conspiracy theories on. Here's the bit of the tie-in. So my wanker of the week nomination is this lady holding this sign, attending this anti C-bomb lockdown rally.
I know where you're going.
and using it to drag in all the things. But apparently there were also signs at the rally suggesting Sam Newman should be allowed to play golf and that golf. So what I'm saying, like collectively, I reckon all these people who front up were wankers, but this one in particular, because you're kind of going, you're using people being upset at not being able to go out anymore, and we can debate that. But you're dragging in all your other things and going, oh, here's all the conspiracy theories. And this is just another one. So I just felt it was a little bit of bandwagon earring. So I'll put that up on the page when this episode goes out. Please remind me.
No.
But we did have another also late nomination for Pete Evans, and I'm going to put his little tweet up as well. Did anyone... I messaged it to you,
I actually printed it off, Bish. There
was an article someone mentioned, yeah. So,
Matty Trent's just texted me about it, asking, what's he going on about. So,
is this the same one? I'm just asking whether this is what you've got. Pete Evans embroiled in another coronavirus controversy. He goes on to say, now celebrity chef Pete Evans has joined the coronavirus conspiracy theory bandwagon. His social media over the past few days has seen him share content about the rumour-heavy links between the virus and Bill Gates.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Similar to the anti-lockdown protests in Melbourne on Sunday. On Tuesday, he took to Instagram and he put up a couple of stories that included some code words.
Oh, yeah.
They're the ones that you mentioned.
Yeah.
So this is where it links in with that, I think.
Yeah.
But after 2 days, or not even that, I believe, he was forced to take them down and replace them with some baking posts instead. So he's still at it.
He's sort of, now that Channel 7's let him go, he's sort of gone off the derp end, hasn't he?
Well, he was already like,
he was testing orders.
So yeah, I think he was pushing the envelope a fair bit. But now he's just gone, well, don't...
I think they've realised he's too much of a liability.
So Channel 7 have let him go, okay?
They've let him go.
Yeah, Channel 7 did, yeah.
I'm glad, because I think to pay someone who spreads this sort of malarkey... So he's been a good, source of material for this show already.
Yeah, I hope we don't lose him.
Well, I hope he comes on soon, at least to present the award. Although at this rate, I'm starting to think he could just about win the award this week. And I know we want to give it to the battler, but geez, he's just moving right up there in the start.
He's a consistent performer.
He's a
lifetime achievement.
Oh, without a doubt. And the other factor is, he just plays so well to what we love because he's a wanker, but he's rolling out the conspiracy theories. So we're going, hey, you've got
your whole package.
Yes,
he's a man of many talents.
Yes, yeah, no. So he's going to be hard to beat this week. Some people can put some stuff up, try it, nominations, what have you, but. I'm struggling not to give it to Pete. I want to give it to the lady with the sign.
Going back to that lockdown protest, was that the same protest where that lady turned up with the 4-year-old protesting, and the police tried to give her the move on notice, and she refused to move on, so they tried to arrest her, and this poor child was screaming. Absolutely.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, there's video of it. It's actually quite awful. But yeah, who would take their child along to a protest like that? And then she's basically using the child as a human shield. So she was one of my other candidates for the WOW.
There's Jesus, I've got to tell you, there's a lot of contenders. There is a lot of contenders.
Yeah, C-Bomb's brought a lot of them out, I think.
Yeah. Well, we'll ponder that. Maybe shall we go back to that when we rate our beers at the end? So
I think we'll park it for a minute, but
with Brian's there.
My battery's getting low. Got 10% left.
Oh well, let's move through it, bitch. Hobbies, Brian. Other than running, we know you've got the running bug, like many of us. But what's another hobby, Brian, you have outside of running?
I used to be a very avid home brewer. I've sort of left that lapse a bit.
Brian.
Yes.
Look,
this is your time to shine.
Look, on hobbies, can you read that, Brian?
Home brewing.
I've just written down home brewing because that was one of mine, which I'm looking to get involved in. We can do something, Brian.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, I was pretty full on with it. I went as far as doing kegging, and I had all the regs and kegs and taps and all that sort of setup. I gave up on bottling. Still got it all sitting down in the shed down the back there, but I'm thinking about getting back into it again. Actually, although the absolute plethora of craft beer that's around is pretty is pretty good. But I wouldn't mind. I think they've improved a lot since I stopped about 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So I'd really like to start again.
Yeah. Well, that's probably similar timeline to me. I got involved with a neighbour, and we did it for a number of years. Actually, made some pretty successful brews, but for one reason or another, it's fallen by the wayside.
Well, this could be quite serendipitous because I don't want to get involved in brewing at all. But the other day, somebody asked me what sort of dream jobs you would like. What would you really like to do? And I came up with a couple of things and whatnot. But one of the things I noticed tonight when I was getting this can out to rate it is I'd like to be the bloke at the brewery who names the beers.
Oh, yeah.
Right, because they're hilarious, some of them, There's some really good, we had some Pandemic Punch the other night, a nice Neeper from Dayton as well. I think I messaged you blokes the photo. So I reckon here's a proposal. We get a brew happening somehow, and it'll be the Bish and Beard Lager or the Bish and Beard Pale Ale or the Nipper or whatever else, and we'll get some labels done. And
absolutely, I think that's a fine idea.
Yeah, I don't mind partnering up with you there, Bish.
Yeah, no, I reckon we could. We'll come up with some. Well, obviously, Wanker of the Week could well be the lager.
Yeah, conspiracy theory.
The conspiracy theory. The Pete Evans special. There's so many. We could have a whole range going before we know it. So there's an idea. I think we might we might make Brian's hobby come true.
Here we go. Absolutely.
And get Shino on board, and looks like
you still got all the kegs and stuff, Shino?
Oh no, I don't, mate. I moved it all on. So.
Oh, okay. No, I'm a bit of a hoarder, so I hang on to stuff. So we could do a bit of a brew up, and then at the gathering, or
yes.
A few beers on tap or something, a few homies on tap.
Absolutely. Well, that's another idea altogether, isn't it? Is not even going to an establishment as such.
No,
but bringing the party to us.
Having a brew.
Yeah, why not?
Around Shino's fire pit, maybe.
Oh yes, yes.
Fantastic. Now, Brian, you're renowned on Facebook for your dad jokes, so I hope you've prepared one for us tonight.
Yeah, I've got a couple, mate. Yeah,
beautiful.
I've been posting them.
What I'm hoping to do, Brian, because I've got a few here myself, so I'm hoping we can go head to head with a couple.
A bit of a joke off.
I think so.
Joke off. Well, I'll be the judge.
Right. Oops, you still there?
Yeah.
Yes.
Just checking my battery. It's all right. I'm on 9%.
9%.
Okay.
No, we should be.
All right.
Well, we'll let our guest open the batting. So, Brian, let's hit us.
Yep. All right. All right. What's the difference between? Because this is a dad joke. What's the difference between jam and jelly?
Don't know.
Never been caught in a traffic jelly.
Nice one, Brian.
All right.
Okay, right back at you. I spent a bit of time with the kids over the weekend, and one of my sons, he said to me, can I have a bookmark? And I just burst into tears, Brian, after that. And I said, after 14 years, he doesn't know my name's Peter.
Right.
Come on, Bish.
No, I'm the judge here. I'm not.
What do you get What do you get when you cross a tortoise with a vibrator?
What do you get, Brian?
An armadillo.
Right.
All right,
Good one, Brian.
Clubhouse leader. You're just
Yeah.
going to have to be good, you know. This is going to have to be
Yeah,
good.
well, yeah, a little bit earlier today, I went out. I bought some new running shoes from a drug dealer, bitch. Not sure what he laced them with. Though I've been tripping all day.
Oh,
Not bad. Not bad.
The first two were terrible. Yeah, your first efforts were terrible, but I did like the armadillo, and I did like the running shoes. So I'm going to call it a draw. You'll have to come back, Brian, at some point when you've got me, and because that was terrible. I can tell you a story about exactly how small Perth is. I met Brian, as you probably did, through the parkrun running scene. But Brian also knows two of my work colleagues through playing hockey. Is that correct, Brian? Tim Bowler and
Tim
Kopek?
Cheryl, I know through hockey. Tim, I also know through hockey, but Tim and I went to high school together.
Okay, so there's two people I know. And also my first full-time job when I was out of school was at the R&I Bank, and I worked with Brian's sister, Virginia. So,
correct.
And that was, 32 years ago. So
Crazy.
That is just a crazy example of how tiny Perth is, all these unrelated...
Yeah, you know what? That leads me to thinking. That's a great story. That leads me to thinking maybe we could have another segment in future, maybe 6 degrees of separation. We can try and link people together somehow.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, because there is a lot of that. And one of the things, since you've had Facebook, it's always sorted out, because you'll be going through and you get these friend suggestions. You go, well, how do I know them? Oh, they know so-and-so. Or you look at mutual friends and you go, well, how does that person know that person? It's or you turn up at a party and there's these people there and you go, what are you doing here? That's very good. All right, it's
before we go, I've got one more joke here. I'll save it to last.
Right, okay.
It's just a quick one. Did you guys know a slice of pie is $2.50 in Jamaica? A slice of pie is $3 in the Bahamas. These are the pie rates of the Caribbean.
I saw that the other day and I actually thought that was pretty funny.
There's a new movie out about fly fishing. You know the cast. It's awesome.
Okay. Well, we best end it there before someone gets hurt.
Yeah.
What kind of weed do reptiles smoke?
I don't know.
What?
Marijuana.
Nice one, Brian.
Nice.
I've got a million of them.
I know.
You haven't disappointed.
So how do you remember them? How do you plan for your joke? You just...
I trawl the darkest depths of the internet, Clinton.
And
I reckon I recycle a lot of them. I've been posting a daily joke for about 7 years. I started off by I collected a whole bunch of Christmas crackers in about 2013, the jokes in them, and posted them all one by one. And people started liking it, and I just kept on posting them ever since. Like sometimes when I go on holidays, I'll stop doing it. But so there's probably a few that have been recycled. But I just, I don't remember them all.
I love it. I always look forward to it.
I suppose we're at that time of the show, Bish, where we've got to tie up Wanker of the Week before we get into our media rating.
All right. Well,
what do you guys reckon? Who are we settling on for Wanker of the Week?
Look,
what are your thoughts?
Sam Newman's always a big contender for me because he's got about as much relevance as a wooden frying pan. So yeah.
All right. So you're sticking with Sam? Yep.
Yeah.
Can't be swayed. Yeah. Who are you?
Yeah. Look, as much as I have a deep-seated distaste for Peter Evans, I don't mind the idea of Sam Newman because he tries so hard he tries so hard to remain in the game.
He's not relevant.
Yeah, no, I think
but
he's
Peter
had to go
Evans
so far out.
Well, absolutely. I mean, Peter Evans still has a semblance of relevance about him, but where Sam Newman purely does not. So that alone probably weighs my vote towards Sam.
Yeah, and as it's 2-1 as is, I'm going to go with Sam as well, because it may be the last chance we get to honour his wankishness.
I think so.
Old man, and as you say, as he gets less and less relevant, we're less likely to hear about it. So, yeah, we're going to give it to Sam.
Fantastic.
Pete Evans will shine again, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. He's not out of the game.
He's not out of the game. So early doors. So okay. So should we rate our beers?
Yes. Brian, would you like to rate? How are you going with your
out of 5? You're getting through.
I'm a little bit concerned with Brian. He's been seated the whole time, and we may well have an incident once we close his show off.
Yeah, well,
I'm
still
struggling. I can't say I'm actually loving it. It's quite strong alcoholic tasting. I don't know. Out of 5, I'd give it a 2.5.
Yeah,
it's not great.
Right.
It's not great.
Right. No, when you're done.
But Brian, do you think because it's potentially out of date by 12 months?
Yeah, probably. It's probably got a lot to do with it.
So it's a 3-star beer that's been kept too long.
Yeah.
So half of that star was lost because you just left it in the back.
He left it to fester.
Right.
Stay clear of it, gang. It's not great.
Well, just send a photo of that to Shino afterwards, and he'll put your rating on the page with that. So thanks. So Shino, what are you scoring?
What are you drinking, Shino?
Yeah, well, I had the seasonal NEPA, which is a 6.9% offering, and as most NEPAs are, as we know, quite a cloudy, fruity beer, and I absolutely love this. I'm tempted to go further with it, but I'm going to give it a 4.5 star. This is one of the nicest NEPAs I've ever had. So fruity, and you, unlike yours, Brian, you can't taste the alcohol in it at all, which is quite frightening when it sits at 6.9%.
Mid strength. Yeah.
Is it heading towards the sort of sours?
No, it's not as sour as some, and that's what I like about it. I don't really have a palate for the sour beers, so I wouldn't say it's overly sweet either. It's fairly neutral in that regard, but very much the fruity, citrusy flavour without the sourness.
Nice.
And I had the Salesman XPA. I'll give it some marks because the can looked great.
Still here.
We've lost.
Still here.
Oh, no, it's still there.
No, still here.
All right. I'll give it some marks because the can looked great. The taste was good. Not as exciting as the beer I had last week. I'm going to go 3.5 stars. Pretty good, but just lacked a bit of a wow factor for mine. So 3.5 on that. So
all right, chaps.
So that's where we stand.
We'll shoot your picture through with your ratings again.
I'll do that immediately. Thanks for joining us, Brian. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on and working around my very busy schedule.
Well, you're a busy man, mate, and we have to make these compromises to get the talent. That's the Bish and the Beard way. So,
depths of mediocrity.
Looking forward to seeing what you and Shino come up with in the brewing department, and I'm going to go and put my thinking cap on for some beer names. So, fantastic. Please share what you've been drinking with us on the Facebook page. Share any dad jokes if you like. You can nick them off the page. There's 7 years worth there. You can go back through it. We'll speak to you next week. And once again, don't forget to get your nominations in for Wanker of the Week. So fantastic. We'll see you next week. See you, Brian.
See you, Brian. Take it easy, fellas.
There we go.
Having me.
Good night, everyone.